Yo, what is going on, guys? The Yorkshire Biker here. So yes, I've just got to nip into town because, as always, I'm having some technology issues. My phone keeps crashing and just doing whatever it wants. No matter what page I'm on, every now and again, it doesn't do it all the time, but intermittently it'll just freeze on whatever page it's on and it won't let me do anything. Now, I've not had the phone even a year yet, so it's still under warranty, so I'm just nipping into the shop to have a look at it. So as well as that issue, it's now started, since I've done the iOS update, it's now saying that, I mean, when I charge my phone, it doesn't get plugged into any accessories, it goes straight into the wall. But there's a message popping up on the phone saying that this accessory may not be supported. Now, I'm not being funny, but if electricity from a plug socket's not supported, then what is? Crazy. And obviously, because I don't have a car, I've had to bring the bike out and it's wet, so that's pissed me off. But on a positive note, it means I get to use the Quickshifter. Yes. It's basically, it's not your conventional Dynajet or your HM Quickshifter. I've gone for one that's made by a company called Healtech. The sensor is completely different to what you're normally used to. It's still a strain gauge, so it's not measuring the distance that the rod's moving. It's measuring the pressure that I put on the rod, so it's a bit more accurate. But it is some almighty bunch of fun. Just listen to it. It's ace. Find yourself changing gear for the sake of it. Just wipe the lens. Don't know how much water the lens is getting on it, so just give it a quick wipe. Now, the deciding factor mainly was the price. You got HM Quickshifter. I think it was the super light one. That were coming in at around £450, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure, but it was definitely quite a bit dearer than this one. Now this one came in, you can't buy it directly from Healtech. Basically, I thought I had camera buzzing then. Basically what they do is you go on the Healtech website, you pick what bike you've got, and it'll tell you what suitable products they have, and it'll tell you obviously what stores sell their stuff. So I got it from a shop called Bikers Discount Store, and it works out at, including special delivery, £271. So it's around £260 for the Quickshifter itself. So you get the wiring loom and the module and the sensor. So it's not too bad, to be fair. It's quite a good price. And there's also an app. Now, the module itself has got Bluetooth capabilities, so you download a free app on your phone, which you can now get on iOS and Android, and basically you set the sensor up through this app. It's not too bad as it comes, but it does just need a slight retweaking. It's not 100% there, so you do have to sort of play around with it a little bit, but that's what I found anyway. Some people might get it and they're happy with how it runs from factory. So yeah, what I'll do, I mean, I did do a video on it yesterday, but I weren't happy with it, so I've had to start again. So what I'll do, when I've been to the phone shop, I'll run through the app and I'll show you it all working and how you set it up. And it's pretty good. And then I'll obviously show you how I've routed it on the bike and where I've located everything. It's just ace. But as I say, it's not 100% there. It is taking a couple of rides for me to get the settings and the cutoff times right. But it's 95% there, so I'm pretty happy. Just a bit of tweaking, that's all. Phone shop open. Yep. Right, so I'm just going to nip into the shop. What I'll do is I'll pause it here, and then obviously I'll come back to you once I come out of the shop. And we'll finish the video off. Yeah, the gates are open. Slippy leaves on the entrance. Be careful. It is really a passing place, this, but never mind. Right. We may need the bike running as well. I don't know. We'll get bike running anyway, just so that it's working. Right, so get lens a wipe. Yeah, so you load the app. It is on iOS and Android, as I've said. Now there's 12 options, sorry, I can't count. So you got a setup wizard. Basically it'll run through step by step and tell you how you need to obviously get the Quickshifter set up. I've already done that, so I'm not going to go through it again. There's also a bypass mode. So basically, when you get the sensor set up, you can either have it on or off. Obviously, when it's on, you don't necessarily have to use it. You can still use the clutch, but you've got a bypass mode, which allows you to. It basically just turns the Quickshifter off, and you just use the bike as you would normally. But I don't see point in that. What's the point in having a Quickshifter and turning it off? I don't know. You've got an open and a save option. That's obviously once you've got settings set up. You can either save them for different styles of your riding. I don't know, for on the track, on the road, or whatever. Or for if you've got multiple bikes, you just save the settings and you can change the module over onto your other bike. You just have to buy the specific wiring loom, that's all. And then you got onto the second row, the RPM setup. Basically, it says that the engine speed is on there, so it's currently around 1480 RPM, which is about right, just looking at it on my rev counter. If that's not right, you have to adjust the pulses per rev on here, until obviously this app shows what the rev counter's showing. And you've got the first RPM, that's the revs per minute that you want, where the Quickshifter kicks in and it is able to work. Now, because this ticks over at 1500, I've set it so that the Quickshifter starts working at 3000, because I'm not going to change gear any less than that, I don't think. And the last RPM, I don't know why that's at 15,000. I'll set that to 13,000. It does say set it to where the red line starts, which on this is 11.5, but something's been done to this where it don't hit the red line there, it keeps going. So I'll set it to 13,000. And then you've got a cut-off test. All you have to do is press the power button on here, and it'll cut your ignition. It'll either cut it briefly and the engine will keep running, or it'll just die completely. Either way, it's fine. It just depends on your bike. It's just to show that the Quickshifter is sending the signal properly, that's all. So we'll give that a press, and we'll listen to that. See, I don't know if you heard that then, but it just cut off slightly. And then you've got the sensor setup. I'll reduce the threshold a little bit. So you got the QSE sensor, which is, and the noise filtering. Basically, if you've we'll get off at bike a minute and we'll turn that off. I don't think we need that fans kicking in. So basically, when you're riding along, if it's chucking in false gears, it's sort of changing gear on its own, you want to have the noise filter on. You want to have it active. It's just so that it eliminates the vibrations of it sort of changing gear. And the cutoff delay, I've left that at 15 milliseconds because obviously this measures that you are putting enough pressure on. So between enough pressure going onto the lever and it actually changing gear is 15 milliseconds. Yeah, that's fine. That. Just making sure the nut's still tight. So yeah, you don't want it to change gear straight away because you may end up doing forced gear changes. And then obviously you've got the cutoff times. If you don't know what you're doing, I'd advise to leave it on adaptive. It's basically, it does it itself. That's set as standard to 85, but I reduced it down to have a little play with it. It weren't quite where I wanted it, so I've gone onto the expert mode, the manual bit, and I've set it all up myself. So at 3000 revs, I've got a 50 millisecond cutoff, and it ranges between 50 and 60 milliseconds, depending on what rev range I'm at. That's what I've found works best at the moment. I may work with it and find better settings, but at the minute, that's how they're working. They've got security when the bike's running. You can have a PIN code. I believe all the quick shifters have got the same PIN code to pair them with your phone from factory. So if there's somebody else with a quick shifter, that you obviously with this Healtech one, if you've not got a PIN code, they can link up via Bluetooth, and they could potentially change all your settings. So I'd advise putting a PIN code on it. Most people are going to use the bank PIN code, but you never know. Obviously, you've got your languages. If you've messed up all the settings and you don't like it, you can reset it to default. And then the bottom three is basically just information, frequently asked questions, and troubleshooting. So that's the first page. No, that's not. That's the second page. And the first page, basically, we'll turn it on again just so you can see it all running. So you've got your serial number and the bypass mode. They're blanked because I've not got them on at the moment. The engine RPM, it should pick that up in a second. Right, reading data from the module. Yep, there we go. So you've got your engine speed there, the pulses, revs, last rev, the sensor value. Basically, if I lift that, it measures that. I don't know if you can see it there. You've got the sensor value. That just kicks in. So if I go above, so if it's yellow, it's below the threshold. If it goes red, it's above the threshold, which means it would change gear. And as I said, you've got the threshold there, the cutoff, and it tells you basically the cutoff times. Just information on that one. The second page is where you change all your settings. It's at the moment I like it. It's to me it's better than a HM Quickshifter because you can do far more with it, should I say? But what I'm going to do is I'll not bore you too much. I'm going to end it there. So I'm only 2 minutes from home, so I'll get off home. So if you like what you've seen, it's just a quick review, not necessarily a review, but just letting you know what it is that I've bought and how it works, kind of thing. Yeah, so as always, ride safe, keep the sticky side down, and until next time, I love you all.